In this video, we will be covering a passage from Catcher in the Rye. We will analyse the passage in great depth and find inner meanings to the writing of J.D. Salinger.
This video will analyse pages 190 and 191. Holden and Phoebe are in the zoo, and Phoebe has just decided that she would like to go on the carousel, as she used to when Holden, DB and Ali had taken her to the zoo in her childhood. Holden becomes very emotional towards the end of the piece, and it is the last time we see him before his mental breakdown. We will be looking at the change in Holden's character and the symbolism behind images, gestures and allusions that he makes in this section of the novel. We are also going to explore the symbolism behind the carousel, how Salinger portrays Holden's fall from innocence through the motif of the hunting hat, why Holden's emotions overcome him, and the relevance of the song Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. Throughout the novel, Holden has dealt with the theme of change, and Salinger has developed and explored the many ways in which change can affect a person. Be it change in personality or change in circumstance, it is perhaps the strongest theme in the novel. This scene sees Holden realise that he has already grown up, and that he cannot pretend to be younger anymore. He sees Phoebe grow up and assume a role that he had originally filled. He knows that he can no longer prevent her from falling or becoming an adult. When asked what he likes, Holden replies, Ali. Ali is the one person that physically cannot grow up, as he is merely a memory. Holden doesn't want to lose Phoebe as he has lost DB to Hollywood and his parents due to the death of Ali. A huge contributing factor to Holden's unseen breakdown at the end of the novel is this feeling of isolation that Salinger conveys throughout the novel. Holden isolates himself from society, no matter how hard he tries to be part of it by going to clubs and bars. He wants to be a mute that is unable to communicate, and he also spends a lot of time alone, reading or wandering around museums. He cannot stand the thought of Phoebe, the one person that he felt comfortable being with on a one. Holden has, throughout the novel, established himself as a mature-thinking young man who has a unique take on life and the reasons why people behave in the way that they do. In this final chapter of Holden's life, before his mental breakdown, Salinger revives several important elements that Holden had touched on earlier in the novel. For example, falling, responsibility, and growing older psychologically.
Frankie's analysis. Holden is trying to say that you should let children try and achieve things they want, and even if you, the supposed adults, which he seems to be considering himself, as in this line, do not agree with it, you must let them proceed in it, and fail or succeed. Perhaps he is referring to himself, as he has been getting into trouble at school and been expelled numerous times for his own accord. This may be the fall he is describing, and perhaps he wishes his parents were more or less concerned about it. Therefore, he could perhaps come home more easily rather than being on the street and motels like he has done in the novel. This is quite an ironic sentence, as he describes his ideal pastime in life as being the catcher in the rye, and also catching children before they fall off the edge. So he is saying in this that you should let the children fall off, but then he wants to catch them before they fall off, which is ironic.
The motif of Holden's hunting hat has been a consistent source of strength for Holden, and in this section of the novel the emotions related to the hat resurface and become more explicit in their relevance. Holden's hunting hat makes Holden feel secure and self-confident due to his belief that he can analyse humanity in greater depth when wearing the hat, and this belief is conveyed when he is talking to Strad later and refers to the hat as being a people-shooting hat. Holden is, effectively, shooting people when he analyses and dissects their characters throughout the novel, as he is causing their innermost insecurities to spill out as a deer's life would in the event of it being shot. Holden puts on the hat before he enters public places, and he carries it with him even if he is not planning on wearing it upon his head. This attitude can be compared to the carrying of a lucky charm, such as a rabbit's foot. Holden feels that he is complete as a person when he is wearing the hat, and he wishes it to be something that makes him unique. But what is the general image of a hunting hat? Hunting hats are red in order to make the hunter visible to the other hunters, so that they will not accidentally be mistaken for a deer. This supports Holden's longing to be visually unique, as he doesn't want to blend into the background or to become one of the phonies he so resents. In this section of the novel, Phoebe reaches into Holden's coat pocket and takes out his red hunting hat and puts it on his head. This gesture portrays Phoebe as being very mature, as she recognises Holden's need for the hat, and she has noticed that Holden appears to be stronger when wearing it. Holden gave the hunting hat to Phoebe when he went to visit her, and Salinger is using this gesture in order to symbolize Holden's desire for Phoebe to feel safe and protected, as he believes that she will need to be strong in order to tackle the world. Our scene, being a scene leading up to Holden's mental breakdown, is particularly significant, as it seems that Phoebe is attempting to divert the disaster that she had predicted will happen to her brother. She has assumed the role of an adult in this scene, as she gives Holden permission to wear the hat when he asked if she wanted to wear it. This role reversal supports the overall aim of the piece, which is to show Holden's realization that he cannot stop people from growing up. This theme of wanting Phoebe to remain innocent and young is touched upon earlier in the chapter, when Phoebe exclaims that she is too big to ride on the carousel. Holden replies defiantly that she is not.
They asked me how I knew my true love was true. Oh, I of course replied, something here inside cannot be denied. They said someday you'll find all who love are blind. Oh, when your heart's on fire, you must realize smoke gets in your eyes. So I chaffed them and I gaily laughed, to think that they could doubt my love. Yet today my love has flown away, I am without my love. Now laughing friends deride, tears I cannot hide, oh so I smile and say, when a lovely flame dies, smoke gets in your eyes, smoke gets in your eyes. This song is on, ironically, when Phoebe is on the carousel, Phoebe, the one Holden holds the most dearly in his heart. It's ironic that this song is playing because it's the time that Holden realizes, as the song says, someday you'll find all who love are blind, meaning that he realizes that childhood for him is over. When you're a child, you can love blindly and won't see any flaws. However, now he is older, he sees people's flaws and how the world around him is not what he first sees. Boy, it began to rain like a bastard. In buckets, I swear to God. All the parents and mothers and everybody went over and stood right under the roof of the carousel, so they wouldn't get soaked to the skin or anything. But I stuck around on the bench for quite a while. I got pretty soaking wet, especially my neck and my pants. My hunting hat really gave me quite a lot of protection in a way, but I got soaked anyway. I didn't care though. I felt so damn happy all of a sudden the way old Phoebe kept going around and around. I was damn near bawling. I felt so damn happy, if you want to know the truth. I don't know why. It was just that she looked so damn nice, the way she kept going around and around in her blue coat and all. God, I wish you could have been there. This passage contains a whole lot of symbolism, as Chloe said earlier, Holden and his hunting hat. He says that I got pretty soaking wet, especially my neck and my pants. My hunting hat really gave me a lot of protection in a way, but I got soaked anyway. This is symbolizing how the hunting hat protects Holden in times where his emotions are strongest. Here, when he is happier than any other time in the novel that we have seen him, and the hat is protecting him from the rain, perhaps so that the rain will not affect the happy state of mind that he is in at this point. The fact that it is raining is also symbolic. Rain is usually considered to be associated with sadness and grief, but Holden at this time does not seem to mind it, which is surprising as he is usually so pessimistic. It could be interpreted as how Holden is with Phoebe. He can't be unhappy when he is with her unless he is making her sad. And in this passage, Phoebe seems very content, which has a positive effect on Holden, making him content as well. It is symbolic of Holden's tears of happiness that he talks about. I was damn near bawling. I felt so damn happy, if you want to know the truth. Also, he says, if you want to know the truth, which may relate to his happiness, because for once in his life he is happy and he knows it. So knowing the truth, therefore, the fact that he knows what he feels makes him happy, because throughout the whole novel he is never sure of what he feels. Another symbolic image in this scene is when he says all the parents and mothers and everybody went over and stood right under the roof of the carousel, so they wouldn't get soaked to the skin or anything. But I stuck around on the bench for quite a while. This shows that, as he did not go under the roof of the carousel like all the other adults, that he is still not ready to completely grow up yet. It shows that he is not ready to fall into the world of adulthood.
Now come to a conclusion about Holden's maturity. We have come to the conclusion that the carousel represents childhood and the simplicities of it. A carousel is a world in itself that always has motion as it goes round and round, just as the earth does. But unlike our world today, instead of seeing new things wherever you go, on the carousel you go round and round and round and see the same things, just like the surroundings you were used to as a child. The reason Holden declines Phoebe's invitation on the carousel is he would like to observe her. He does this quite frequently. He sees her on this carousel which children go on and which Phoebe has gone on before, and as he watches her go round and round, he realises, like how he said in the previous lines about letting children fall, that Phoebe is intelligent and that she is growing up and maturing. This is the first time that Holden psychologically accepts that Phoebe is on the brink of childhood and growing up, and as he watches her in how he would like her to be, which is engulfed by a never-changing world that he wants to protect her from, and an innocence of childhood, which is a carousel, he realises that she will change. He realises that she will change, and she sees the world change around her, which it isn't doing on the carousel. He realises that Phoebe is trying to grow up currently, and as he watches her alone on the carousel, he realises that there is a difference. As before, he used to go to the carousel with DB, Ali, and her, and now Ali is gone, DB is in Hollywood, and he's the only one who has outrun the carousel, and he is watching Phoebe alone on it. Ali has died, DB has grown up, and Phoebe hasn't. But by him sitting back and watching her, he realises that he has grown up. Thanks for watching!